Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television.
Hello and thanks for joining us on Assets Television. Welcome to the news. I am Eugenia Solomon. First, the headlines. National Grid Collapse Committee submits report, identifies problems. Court stops Central Bank of Nigeria from withholding Kano's fund. FCT police arrest armed robbers, recover stolen vehicles in Abuja. Now the news in detail. The federal government has revealed that a poor maintenance culture and inadequate and aged equipment, among other challenges, are the underlying reasons for the incessant multiple collapse of the national power grid witnessed in recent months. It also stated that the high voltage of electricity surpassing the capacity of its equipment caused the blackout witnessed on October 14th and 19th, 2024. The chairman of the investigative committee probing reasons for grid collapse, Nafisatu Asabe Ali, revealed this during the report presentation at ministry headquarters in Abuja. This came barely 24 hours after the latest collapse that occurred on Tuesday, making it the 10th time the national grid would collapse in 2024 alone. According to her, the investigative team observed similar challenges and problems affecting all stations during the probe. The committee listed several factors affecting the management, including vandalism of power infrastructures, lack of free governors at power generation plants, uncoordinated maintenance schedules, and lack of adequate human capacity. Responding to this, the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, said the ministry would push for additional funding from the 2024 supplementary budget and the 2025 appropriation bill to resolve the financial implication of strategies needed to curb the incessant grid collapse. Meanwhile, the electricity distribution company Discos have announced a rise in the price of various electricity meter models, making it the second price hike in 4 months. According to the Discos, the cost of a single-phase meter has risen from approximately 117,000 naira to as much as 149,800 naira. This amount indicates an increase of 28.03% or 32,800 naira depending on the distribution company and meter vendor. The new prices posted on the official X handle of the Discos were scheduled to take effect on Tuesday, November 15th, 2024. It also reflected the deregulation of meter asset providers as directed by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC. It was learned that the upward revision followed an earlier increase in August 2024, further amplifying concerns among electricity consumers about affordability and accessibility. A Kano State High Court has restrained the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN), Accountant General of the Federation (AGF), and the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission from withholding the 44 Kano State local government allocations. The court gave the order on Wednesday following a motion ex parte filed on November 1st by the chairman of the National Union of Local Government Employees, NOLGE, Ibrahim Mohammed, and 5 other concerned residents of Kano State. The others are Ibrahim Shehu, Ibrahim Abubakar, Usman Isa, Sarki Kurawa, and Usman Imam. The motion ex parte, which was filed through the applicant's counsel, Bashir Yusuf Muhammad and Usman Bala Salisu, highlighted concerns over the possible withholding or delay of allocations essential for local governance in the state. The respondents are the AGF as 45th defendant, Central Bank of Nigeria as 46th defendant, RMAFC Mission as 47th defendant, 44 Kano local government areas, UBA, Access Bank, and 6 other commercial banks. Now, legal practitioners have called on President Bola Tinubu to take further action after his directive for the release of the miners arraigned before the Federal High Court in Abuja over their involvement in the hashtag End Bad Governance protest. Tinubu had given the directive in response to the public outcry that greeted the arraignment of the miners who also looked starved. Justice Obiora Egwatu of the Federal High Court in Abuja had dismissed the case against the protesters following an application by the Attorney General of the Federation. Upon their release, Vice President Kashim Shettima advised them to turn a new leaf and build responsible futures for themselves. However, legal practitioners have demanded more actions even after the president's proclamation and subsequent release of the miners. Among them are a senior advocate of Nigeria, Wahab Shitu, who stressed the need for comprehensive rehabilitation and compensation for the released miners. On his part, the convener of Access to Justice, Joseph Ote, criticized the initial arrest and subsequent detention as unjust and excessive. Ote stressed the constitutional obligation of authorities to apologize and compensate in such cases. Asset Television News will continue after the breather. Stay with us.
Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television.
Thank you for being there. If you're just joining us, you are watching the news on Assets Television. 3 oil marketers, AYM Shafa Limited, AA Rano Limited, and Matrix Petroleum Service Limited, have asked the Federal High Court in Abuja to dismiss a suit filed by Dangote Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemicals. The marketers, in a joint counter affidavit dated November 5, 2024, a response to an originating summons filed by Dangote Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemicals, argued that granting the application of Dangote Refinery would spell doom for the country's oil sector. They emphasized that the plan to monopolize the oil sector is a recipe for disaster in the country. Dangote Refinery, in its originating summons dated September 6, 2024, had sued Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority and Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation Limited, AYM Shafa Limited, AA Rano Limited, Tea-Time Petroleum Limited, 2015 Petroleum Limited, and Matrix Petroleum Services Limited as first to seventh defendant, respectively. The refinery prayed the court to declare the NMDPRA was in violation of Section 317, Subsection 8 and Subsection 9 of the Petroleum Industry Act (PIA) by issuing licenses for the importation of petroleum products. Now, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command has killed 2 armed robbers during a gun duel and arrested 4 in the Jahi area of the nation's capital. Also, no fewer than 5 car snatchers were arrested and 13 stolen vehicles were recovered during the operation conducted by the Scorpion Squad of the FCT Command. Parading the suspects on Wednesday in Abuja, the FCT Commissioner of Police Tunji Disu said the armed robbers opened fire on October 21st upon citing police officers who had received a distress call about a robbery incident in the Jahi area of the FCT. According to him, during the gun battle, the police killed 2 of the armed robbers, recovered 2 of their vehicles, and arrested 2 suspects identified as Haruna Abdullahi, 32, from Ikara local government area of Kaduna State, and Yerima Usman, 28, from Itoro local government area of Bauchi State. Disu added that after a follow-up operation on October 23, the suspects led police operatives to arrest 2 additional gang members, Abba Ismail, also known as Dang Abba, and Ashiru Suleiman, who had escaped from the scene. This also named the arrested car-snatching suspects to include 32-year-old R.G. Thomas from Goza local government area of Borno State, Amobi Ndukwe 40 from Agwe local government area of Enugu State and Amechi Samson 26 from Imo State. He said the trio of Thomas Ndukwe and Samson are members of a notorious car-snatching gang led by one Chide Berry, who is on the run. According to him, the suspects were on the verge of selling a stolen blue Toyota Corolla when they were apprehended. Now, the National Assembly Service Commission, NASC, has approved the appointment of Barrister Kamoru Ogunlana as the substantive clerk to the National Assembly, CNA. This is even as the Commission approved the retirement of Sani Magaji Tambuwal, the outgoing clerk to the National Assembly. This was contained in a statement released by the Commission's Deputy Director, Information, Emmanuel Onyigo. An appointment letter personally signed by the Chairman, National Assembly Service Commission, Engineer Ahmad Kadi Amshi, read in parts. The National Assembly Service Commission, NASC, at its 610th meeting held on Wednesday, 6 November 2024, approved your appointment as clerk to the National Assembly with effect from 2nd February 2025. The Commission explained that the appointment was in recognition of Kamoru's hard work and administrative competence and urged him to work hard to justify the confidence reposed on him. Now, the National Youth Service Corps members have called on the federal government to implement the promised 707,000 naira allowance to alleviate the current economic hardship in the country. The Corps members took to their social media handles to share their concerns. The NYC members said, despite the government's approval of the increased allowance in July 2024, they were still receiving the old allowance of 33,000 naira. According to them, the old 33,000 naira is no longer sustainable due to high transportation, feeding, and NYC contribution costs. And now from the foreign scene, Donald Trump is preparing to select his top team ahead of his return to the White House after Kamala Harris vowed a peaceful transfer of power. In a decisive victory, Trump won 5 of the 7 battleground states and is ahead of the final 2 yet to declare, Nevada and Arizona. Meanwhile, Republicans have retaken control of the U.S. Senate. They also lead the contest to control the House of Representatives, but it could take days for a final result. In the world of sports, Nigeria's representatives in the 2024 CAF Women's Champions League, Edo Queens FC of Benin City, have departed the country for Casablanca, Morocco, ahead of the competition scheduled to start on November 6th and run through November 23rd, 2024. The Nigerian champions arrived in Lagos on Wednesday and traveled the following day with a promise to lift the trophy. They are lodged in group alongside Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa, Egypt's FC Masar, and CBS of Ethiopia, and opening their campaign against the Ethiopians on November 10th at Larbi Zauli Stadium, Casablanca. Speaking at a press conference before their departure for Lagos on Wednesday, the team's captain Efe Osakbolo expressed their determination to go all the way. Responding, Chairman Edo State Sports Commission Yusuf Ali charged the players to bring home the trophy, adding that everything was in place to motivate them, urging them to replicate their triumph in the WAFU Zone B Championship. And with that sports story, we end the news. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms for more updates and programs. On behalf of the entire news crew, I am Eugenia Solomon. Do have a wonderful evening. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television.